I did want to add in that the government, USCIS, promised and has kept its promise that they will prioritize the processing for investors who invest in rural areas specifically. So they will process and adjudicate the petitions faster. When you file these applications together, in my opinion and in what I have seen, when you do a concurrent filing, the whole package, the whole petition package is streamlined. It is processed faster, processed better, because your I-526 and your I-485 are immediately linked. Now, the second advantage is that when we file adjustment of status, we are eligible to file for a request for employment authorization, which allows an individual to work anywhere or not work at all. We are also eligible to apply for which is a travel authorization, which allows an individual to travel anywhere for around 1 year. When you have an advance parole, you're allowed to travel out for 1 year and be back within the 1 year time frame. So which are two huge benefits that any investor can get immediately. And by immediately, I mean around 3 to 4 months of filing. So every year there is a set number of visas assigned for EB-5 investors. And if there were 10 visas assigned, 20% of the 10 have been assigned for rural projects. And then 10% have been assigned for urban TEAs. When we go down and we see the rural, then we see the set-asides for high unemployment and the infrastructure projects, you see the CCC, which means the category is current, which in essence means that visas are available for these people. They can apply for adjustment of status, and the government will process and adjudicate and give them their EADs and APs if filed together. The most common that I'm seeing these days is the H-1B. I should actually say both F-1s and H-1Bs. F-1s are the students. H-1s are employment-based visas, which are given to all over the world, people coming here to be employed in specialty occupations, the ones who hold good degrees. We also see a lot of L1s. L1s are intra-company transfers for multinational organizations or any businesses which are in other countries which establish their offices here and transfer their employees. I'm taking the example of H1 and L1s first. These guys, these two categories are dual intent, meaning when they get the visa, the government gives them the benefit of stating that when they come in, they can decide to become permanent residents. So for them to be here and find, say, the investor petitions and file has huge benefit. They can file anytime and they can take the benefit of getting an EAD and AP, and with the EAD start working anywhere or not work or start their own businesses. So the E2, like F1s, the government does not allow dual intent. They give a promise that we are just going to the United States to, say, set up a business or to, say, just study. What I look at in a project is whether they are doing everything that the USCIS requires, whether all their documentations are again aligned with the USCIS requirements. That is the baseline thing we have to see, whether the project seems eligible to qualify as an EB-5 investment. Lots of regional centers now in the market, lots of projects. We've got to also see their past performance. We've got to see how they have done with their prior projects, because while we cannot see the future, we can definitely see what they have done with the projects that have finished. So if you are looking at those horrendously long timelines and you wish to pursue, say, a different job, or you want the stress of not getting your permanent residency for a long period out of the way, then you definitely need to look into the investor petition. The investor petition, as long as, of course, you're financially capable to do so, is a smooth route. In so many years, I've not seen where regional center is out to get your money. Everyone is trying to benefit each other. This is a mutually beneficial situation. The regional center definitely hopes to finish their project and give your funds back as promised. And in return, you are getting your employment authorization to be able to work, start a business, not work, go back to your home country for 9 months and do nothing, travel on your advanced parole authorization. So, it gives you a lot of freedom. So in any petition, we did not, of course, cover that. When any individual files any petition, they cover their derivative beneficiaries. And derivative beneficiaries by USCIS definition is your immediate family, which would be your unit of your spouse and your children under the age of 21. So the USCIS defines every child as to be someone who is under the age of 21 who can file with their parents. You have to file adjustment of status before he or she turns 21 to be able to lock their age as your derivative beneficiary. For me, the most important factor for now, of course, is the concurrent filing. The concurrent filing has made it very, very attractive because of the immediate access to the work permit and the advance parole, the travel permissions. The number two is post-RIA government explaining, USCIS explaining their stand that the investors need to keep their investment for 2 years and create the 10 jobs, and then they can take their funds back. I think this is the right time. After that, we don't know. We don't know how the laws will change, whether we will have this concurrent filing. The visa numbers will be less and less. Whether we will have the 2-year, where you can take your funds back in 2 years. Whether somebody files a lawsuit again and we have to again go back to secured taking loans against collateral.